And that was President Biden finally breaking his silence, nearly 20 days of silence on the unprecedented raid, the FBI raid of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence. The Department of Justice has until noontime today to provide a federal judge with a redacted version of that affidavit as to what was behind that raid. The American people want to know. Joining me right now is Arkansas Attorney General Leslie Rutledge. And AG Rutledge, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here.
Good morning.
What is your reaction to that raid, and what do you want to do about this?
Well, I think as so many Americans, we are deeply concerned about the raid on a former president's home. It's unprecedented. Most Americans are thinking, my gosh, if they will do this to former President Donald Trump, what will they do to me? And that's exactly why we need to have this affidavit out in public so we can see exactly what was the rush. Why did they have to go there when no one was there in the middle of the night, essentially, and raid a former president's home? It's time for the Biden administration and President Biden to answer that question. The Justice Department should not be able to come in unprecedented into a former president's home and to take those items. The American people deserve to know.
Yeah.
We need to have that transparency.
I mean, it's pretty incredible. The sweep even included 3 of the president's passports, 2 passports that had been expired, and 1 active passport that they had to go and return. So you've got the administration attacking a political enemy, a political opponent, all the while wide open border economic policy that has stoked inflation. In plain sight, bad policy. I want to get your take on what we're seeing this morning in New York. 2 more buses have arrived at Port Authority, filled with illegal migrants, as the feud between Texas Governor Greg Abbott and New York City Mayor Eric Adams continues. Adams is now pushing back after Abbott called him a hypocrite. In a New York Post op-ed, Adams says, quote, "Someone get this man a dictionary. Hypocrisy is claiming you love America and then decrying the words of the Statue of Liberty." A.G. Rutledge, you were at the border with me back in January, and you told me, as many AGs did, that every state is a border state. How have things changed?
Absolutely, and we are seeing the influx of illegal immigrants. I applaud Governor Abbott for sending these buses of illegal immigrants to people such as the New York City mayor. Let these cities who say bring it on, let them have these individuals that take resources away from good, hardworking Americans. I know in Arkansas, we see the impact every day of an open border policy because of the drug overdoses. There's not nearly a day goes by, Maria, I don't open the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and see an obituary of someone in their 30s or 40s. Those obituaries are not likely caused by someone dying of cancer. They are caused by overdoses. We are having drug arrests right here in between on I-40 in a county between Little Rock and Memphis that had a large drug arrest recently. All of these drugs are coming up through our southern border into our communities. Every state in America is, in fact, a border state. When we were at that border together in January, that was less than a day's drive to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Wow, that is incredible. And A.G. Rutledge, you and 22 other attorneys general filed a lawsuit against the Biden administration for withholding lunch program funding for schools that did not follow White House guidance on gender identity and sexual orientation. So, A.G., basically what you're telling us is this White House is telling schools, you either get on board with the sexual orientation schooling in schools, or you're not getting money for lunches. There's that. Where does that lawsuit stand? And are you going to also file suit on the president's latest move, which, of course, is the bailout for student loan debt? A lot of people saying it's not in his purview. He doesn't have the legal authority to do that. He has to go through Congress. Are you going to file suit on that as well?
Well, speaking of hypocrisy, this administration is filled with hypocrisy. Joe Biden is the bully in the lunchroom, taking school lunches from kids because this administration, Joe Biden, want schools to tell elementary students it's okay for an elementary student to change their gender, that you need to have a policy in place to change your gender. However, it's not okay for an adult 18 or over college student, one of our best and brightest, to be able to go and take out a loan that he or she believes that they will be able to pay back. And then, you know what? I can't pay it back. And so let's give them federal money. Let's give them that bailout. It's time to make sure that we are teaching our young people and we are protecting our young people. That's why we did things such as the SAFE Act in Arkansas, where we don't allow those under 18 to be able to change their gender. We also had the Girls Act that says boys can't play in all female sports. We've got to make sure that we have policies in place protecting young people, while at the same time I am ready to join with other attorneys general, or if I have to go alone, to take action against President Biden's latest executive order with regard to student loan debt.
Yeah. All right. AJ, we're going to be watching the developments there. Yeah. I figured. Yeah. Go ahead. Final word.
Well, that's fine. Well, I just want to make sure that, Americans understand that this student loan forgiveness, I have plenty of people in my office and my family who have student loans, but they took out those loans knowingly. There are plenty of jobs out there for these individuals to go get and to be able to pay back a loan. A bank, the last thing a bank wants, Maria, is your house. And so when people go to the bank to borrow money and get that mortgage, the bank is responsible, and if they have to, they take back that house. Okay. They don't want your house. They want you to pay it back. So these colleges and universities also need to be on the hook to have responsible plans in place.
Yeah, it's a great point. All right, AG, great to see you. AG Leslie Rutledge. We will catch up soon from Arkansas. We'll be right back.